Welcome, everyone, to episode 373 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Today's topic is going to be Breath of the Wild Revisited. I've been wanting to do this for a few weeks now. It's a game I've continued to play since I beat it last year. I've played quite a bit earlier this year. I've been playing it a lot lately. I don't know if you've played any, Will, since you played it last year.
I've dabbled, but I haven't put extended periods of time in it.
Okay. And my kids both played it a lot. My wife played it for a little bit for the first episode of Rookie Camp. So, and I played a lot this week. So it's an episode I've been wanting to do for a while. And actually, the special guest that I teased on Facebook is my son Max, my oldest son Max. He's 7. So I recorded the main segment a little bit earlier. And I'll be playing that. I'll be plugging it in for the podcast, and then for the live stream, I'll just play the audio. So you know, those in the live stream can listen to I think it's like 20 minutes that we talked about Breath of the Wild. So I didn't re-listen to it. I don't know. I think the audio changes a little bit, but there's not a lot I can do about that. It's not as easy with one microphone. When we had the whole studio set up, it was easier to have multiple people in the same room. Everyone got their own microphone, but that stuff wasn't working anymore. So single mic setup. So yeah, we'll start that in a minute. Will, do you have anything you want to tease later on the episode?
Man, we'll probably talk Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot of Nintendo stuff. There was actually a lot of stuff that came out in Nibble Bits over the past like a little over a week now. That a lot of good stuff that's been happening that we're going to cover. So I didn't play anything really other than Breath of the Wild. I very briefly played Dragon Quest XI. Actually, right before we started recording this, I played. I decided to stream for like 20 minutes. We are going to have an episode on that. I know Corey's been playing it quite a bit, and I want to play quite a bit before we have an episode on it. But we'll talk about that ever so briefly.
Yeah.
So that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, without further ado, I will pause here and plug in the main segment with my 7-year-old son Max talking about Breath of the Wild. All right, give a little gap here.
Town, Dan?
What?
Town
What?
Game Freak's new RPG?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be talking about Breath of the Wild. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think you're gonna be able to hear this.
I don't hear it now.
Well, I haven't played it yet. I haven't started it yet. But okay, here I'm gonna start right now. So.
Okay.
Is that your favorite video game right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I initially Can you hear it? as you know, wanted to come on to play Mario or to talk about Mario Odyssey again.
Yeah.
That's not your favorite game anymore, though, right?
Right.
Just Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, just Breath of the Wild.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about Breath of the Wild? Maybe you can
My
go
favorite
into
thing
the
is, like,
live stream.
how it was like
good call.
designed, and like I like how you can ride horses. That's like my favorite part of Breath of the Wild right now.
I need to
Okay.
turn.
I really like it.
Now you remember when you first started.
I can hear it.
Me helping you a
Faintly.
little bit on the Great Plateau.
Yeah.
Is it quiet? Right?
Yeah.
It's quiet,
But I
but
eventually
that's probably
told
because
you
I'm in the
to do it on
Skype call.
your
You know
own.
how it quiets
Yeah.
down audio from other sources?
Since that, because I think I helped you only a little bit at the beginning on the Great Plateau, but since then you've been able to do all
Big Bird
four Divine
83
Beasts,
says
right?
it's quiet, or it's really
Yeah.
quiet, but he can hear it as
And,
well.
like, remember when that one and I kept getting frustrated?
Yeah.
Like, but then
let us know if that's
Divine
better.
Beast Von Bros. I finally got it.
Yeah, and you even at least made an attempt at fighting the
Better.
Calamity Ganon too, right?
Good.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna mute my mic.
I mean, we watched you, but tell everyone how you did.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I almost beat him.
Mhm.
I almost did, but then I didn't have any food, so I'm going to stock up on a bunch of meals. I'm going to get a lot of food for the time that I fight Calamity Ganon and, like, for the real time. Like, also, the scene that I saw when those Divine Beasts were shooting Ganon with the hotter lasers, that was so cool.
That was very cool.
They They weren't out Ganon halfway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a huge help, and you can beat Ganon without doing that, but it's a huge help to have that. Now, me and Mama were both very impressed with how well you did against Ganon. I had a lot of trouble with that fight, and you did way better than me.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
had
also...
I had a lot of healing things that I brought with me when I went to fight Ganon.
Yeah,
you had very little, and yeah, you did really well against him. We were surprised, but you decided to go back and power up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm still working on that right now. So I'm gonna try when I get upstairs. If I can, I'm gonna try to power up a little bit and try to get some more shrines. I also have 4 spirit orbs, and I've been meaning to trade those in. And I have a bunch of jewels, so I'm gonna try to trade those in soon and get more rupees.
Uh-huh.
But the main thing is about getting ready to fight Ganon.
Yeah.
I don't have a bunch of food right now, so I'm trying to fight this Lionel. I decided not to right now, so once I beat Ganon, I'll know I can beat the Lionels. Even the I've watched videos on YouTube, and I've saw the Dark Beast Ganon, and I'm not ready to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I saw the Bow of Light. I'm not super duper well at aiming with bows, but I'm a little fine at it. Plus, it's not the thing I do all the time.
Right.
I usually just go over and smack them with my sword.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't have any types of arrows.
Oh, okay.
And I might have ancient arrows, but I just don't want to use them because if you hit Lionels with them, it just gets them in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't want to use them because then the Lionel doesn't drop anything.
Oh, it just sucks him up, and he doesn't drop any things?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
And
You're teaching me things about the game, too.
Yeah. And the ancient arrows, also if you shoot Guardian's Eyes, they get Guardians with one hit. And I was so surprised when I saw the video on YouTube. It showed that, and I was like, what?
Whoa.
So
who do you watch on YouTube playing Breath of the Wild?
Zach Scott.
Yep, we watch a lot of Zach Scott Breath of the Wild, don't we?
Yeah.
Just about every day.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite kind of weapon?
My favorite kind of weapon is the Master Sword, actually.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. I love how it lights up when there's a Guardian or Calamity Ganon nearby.
Uh-huh.
When you're in Hyrule Castle, I think because Calamity Ganon's so big that it lights up whenever you're at Hyrule Castle.
Okay.
Even if you're far away, underground and far away from Ganon, it's still lit up. The Master Sword is always lit up at Hyrule Castle, so make sure you know that if you ever try to go to Hyrule Castle and you have the Master Sword on, it'll be lit up, it'll be more powerful. And that's why mainly sometimes I use the Master Sword too much and it runs out of energy. I'm going to make sure it's really fresh and it has a bunch of energy when I go fight Ganon. So, and then it's a little easier, I think.
Yeah.
And, Zach Scott switched to something worse than the Master Sword, and he thought it was better. It was something worse because the Master Sword was lit up, and, so that was pretty much his best weapon that he had right then. Okay. So I was like, what are you doing, man? You don't know this? For real. So,
Okay, so besides the Master Sword, what's your favorite weapon?
Besides the Master Sword.
When you can't use the Master Sword.
Okay, so that's pretty much I have no idea. Good question. How,
Do you like spears, or short swords, or long swords? Clubs?
Well, clubs, I bet all of you get this, but I don't like clubs at all. So, because it has a super bad attack, just 4. And I'm like, so my favorite weapon besides that is actually the ancient weapons.
Ancient weapons, okay.
Yeah, because it's so cool. Like, they say they're ancient and they just look so futuristic. Like, even after it's the time Link lives. Like, that futuristic.
Yeah.
Even the time even after the time that we live. It's just so futuristic. It's so cool.
Yeah. So who's your favorite champion?
My favorite champion, if you don't include Link, then it's Rivali. But if you include Link, then it's Link.
Why do you like Rivali?
Because he's silly.
Yeah.
And he does funny jokes.
Yep.
Like that time, like where the memory popped up and like he asked Link to go to the Divine Beast, and then he was like, "Oh, you must pardon me. I forgot you have no way of getting up there on your own." And that was like one of the funniest parts. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So, yeah.
Okay. Next question. So, Mama just bought you the big, thick player's guide that we saw you reading until really late last night. What were you reading about in there?
I was reading about, I was mainly looking at the pictures. So, I was looking at, the gold Lionels and stuff that's in Master Mode.
Yeah.
So, if you look at the ruins that looks like the battle arena thingy, with all the bad guys there, you'll see the Lionel walking around, and he'll actually be gold, and there are also gold bokoblins, gold Lizalfos, gold moblins, and in Master Mode, I'm still on the Great Plateau. I'm almost to a shrine on the Great Plateau in Master Mode.
Okay.
So I wanna get to that shrine. So
yeah,
it's more like get the shrine, and what's really annoying is the guys on the platforms that the Octoroks are holding up, and that's so annoying because they're high up, and if you're low, they'll look at you, and they just keep aiming at you and shooting, and it's just so annoying.
That's probably the biggest difference, right, between Master Mode and the normal one, other than more powerful enemies, is there's those floating platforms with bad guys on them. But also treasure chests, which is nice.
Yeah, the treasure chests are good, but I'm in the cold, so I can't swim over to it, and it's like, I've been trying to knock the Octoroks down, but then I'm like, wait, no, there's probably a treasure chest on that, and it's hard to check, because I don't have, Rivali's Gale, and I don't have the Paraglider in Master Mode right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to, study the gold Lionel, and, I'm going to see what it looks like. I'm not going to try to not be noticed, at all, because I wouldn't be strong enough. If there are other gold guys there, then I really wouldn't want to be noticed, especially by the Lionel, because it was, the hit points were, 7,000 something.
Wow.
I have another 1,000 rupees. I have, 20,000 something rupees.
Nice.
And I 20,800 something. And I'm gonna try to trade in those the jewels, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get to 21,000 something.
Okay.
I also have a great amount of jewels, so.
Have you done any of the Champion's Ballad?
I keep trying. That's pretty hard, actually, because you only have, 1/4 of a heart left.
Oh, so when you start off with the one-hit obliterator, you haven't gotten through that part yet. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I never got through that part.
Okay.
So once I get through that part, I'm going to be really happy, because I've also watched YouTube videos about the Champion's Ballad, and that looks cool, because you, still have the abilities that you that you did before you fought that Ganon. Like, after you fought that Ganon, you still have those abilities. In, like, Urbosa's Fury, I have that too. So, when you have Urbosa's Fury, it's, like, so easy. Especially the Hinox fights and the Moldugas. Those are so easy when you have Urbosa's Fury.
Yeah.
So, if you have Urbosa's Fury, you should try to do that. But the Lynels, they still stand up to 3 Urbosa's Furies. And I keep equipping, like, the big weapon that you need 2 hands. I like how you spin and it can hurt the bad guys. So, like, I keep spinning, like, and it keeps hurting the Lynel. And then when he's about to attack me is when I, like, let go of Y and the lightning strikes happen, and he's, like, he's, like, on the ground, not, like, literally, but, like, yeah, and that's when you can mount him and get up on his back, and I like how you can just, not go, like that. That's so slow. You can just go, like, because you're just hitting his back, you can't go, like, through his back, like,
Yeah.
so, like, you're, like, you can keep doing it, especially with the weapons that, like, takes one hand that you can hold out the shield with them. I'm not too thrilled because I don't have my best weapon that I have right now is actually the Royal Claymore.
Okay. Yep.
And I have that, and it's a 2-handed weapon.
Uh-huh.
And I like how you spin, and, like, I try to do that in the Lionel fights, but sometimes I'm too late for letting go of Y. And sometimes he just, like, for a second, he stands up to the attack and just keeps, like, and he attacks you. And when he makes that fiery shield thingy around him, that's the hardest part, so I'm going to try to trade in my spirit orbs for a heart. I also got all the wheels of stamina. 3 full wheels of stamina.
Nice.
Now,
Another question. Have you done any of the Trial of the Sword?
I haven't beat them yet. I keep trying this. I'm probably going to do that soon.
Okay, it's pretty hard. It took me quite a few tries before I finally got the hang of the rhythm of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm through the first 2 parts of the Trial of the Sword. I haven't done the 3rd one yet. And that's just on my regular playthrough, not on my Master Mode playthrough.
Yeah, so I'm really thinking that you should do that, like, I'm asking you, like, you should do the 3rd trial sometime soon.
Yeah.
Because then the Master Sword will always be lit up, and the attack will always be 60. And sometimes it might be the best weapon that you have. So, if you play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and you've only done 2 of the Masters and 2 of the Trials of the Sword, then I'm recommending you should do the 3rd one, because you heard me.
Yeah.
It'll always be lit up. It'll always be 60. So I'd love to get through all 3 trials, but the thing is, at the end of the 3rd trial, Guardians.
Yeah,
like
I saw
actual Guardians.
So we watched Zach Scott do that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actual Guardians, and I'm like,
anything else you want to talk about real quick before we stop?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Also, I want to talk about, like, my favorite move.
Oh, okay.
So I have 2 favorite moves. Actually, like 3. Mipha's Grace I can kind of do without, but it's just that I, like, rush to the Lionel fights. Like, I don't wait till Mipha's Grace is ready. So that's when I'm like, I better wait till Mipha's Grace is ready. That's what I'm doing right now. And like I said, I'm preparing for Ganon, but that's not what we're talking about. So, Urbosa's Fury is the first one we're going to talk about, because it's the last one I did.
Go ahead.
So, that's when, like, that's my, that's my most favorite of all my favorite moves. Because that is actually, like, a great, that, like I said, that's what I use against the Lionels.
Okay.
And I like how it makes a shield-looking thing, and it does lightning strikes like everywhere, even if the bad guy's inside the thing where the lightning strikes don't strike, he still gets hurt. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm also gonna talk about Daruk's Protection now, because that's the other one I did before that.
Okay.
So Daruk's Protection is actually really helpful. Nothing can hurt you while you're holding it out, like holding down ZL. That's my favorite part. So, well, not my most favorite ability, like I said, Urbosa's Fury is. I think it's almost time to be done soon. So,
Okay, one last quick thing about Breath of the Wild. What do you want to tell everyone?
Daruk's Protection is pretty good. And now, Rivali's Gale. That's my second favorite one.
Okay.
So, Rivali's Gale is, like, really helpful. So helpful, like, you can hold down X. It's like you're crouching, but then all of a sudden you, like, these little spirit thingies pop around you. They go around you, and all of a sudden you let go of X, and you paraglide up, and it's, like, so helpful. There's an updraft, so even if you stop paragliding, you can just start paragliding when the updraft is still doing so. And, like, places that I can't climb, like, even when I have all the stamina in the whole game, places that I can't climb is, like, you know, so that's when I'm trying to get, like, that's when I use Rivali's Gale, and then I actually can climb it. I can actually do it.
Sounds good.
So that's what Rivali's Gale is all about. And Mipha's, I can talk about one last thing, which is Mipha's Grace. Mipha's Grace is also pretty helpful. I tried to make it more of a challenge for me, like the Lionel fight, like I said. So, Mipha's Grace is actually really helpful. Like, when you lose all your hearts, Mipha brings you back. Like, that's pretty helpful. And you don't need to press a certain button. It just automatically does it. Like, I like that. And it gives you extra hearts, like, no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially when you have Mipha's Grace Plus, that might give you, like, how much hearts you have 2 times. When you don't have, like, all the hearts you can have.
Right.
And when there can only be 3 or 2, like, whatever. So, that's what I want to talk about.
Very nice, Mr. Max.
So, and one more thing. The shrines.
Real quick. Go ahead.
The shrines are cool.
Yeah.
I like how you can go inside them. Some even my dad here doesn't know how to do.
It's true.
Like, I asked him to help me with
love
this one where there are, like, star thingies. And you have to look at them. They're on a big wall.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that one out.
And you could look at them, and the crazy long ones, if there are 2, you put the ball in the 2, like, so that's really hard. And when there are, like, normal L-shaped ones, you put the normal L-shaped ones in the, like, in the whatever number it is, like 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th or whatever number it is. And that's really hard. So I can also do the modest tests, the major tests of strength. Now that I have the Guardian armor and the ancient soldier gear, that's pretty cool. And one more thing. When I was looking at a book, it showed that you can get divine beasts, like the hats that make you look like you have the head of a divine beast,
Oh,
and I'm
really?
like,
Is
I
that-
want to find the book.
Is that from Amiibo, maybe?
That's the book. That's what the book says.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to read it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to read it to see if like it's from the Amiibo. It might be from a divine beast Amiibo.
Maybe.
If you can get them, because they might not be out. The book might just be being crazy for right now. So that's all I want to talk about.
All right, thanks for joining me, Mr. Max.
Yeah.
And there it is.
He loves Breath of the Wild.
Yes, he does.
Give me
Wow.
1 second to put my food in the fridge, and then I'll be back to
Yeah, no
comment.
problem. No problem.
Ah. Ah. Hmm.
오. 오.
All right,
Back.
I am back.
Okay. All right, you want to turn your camera back on, and we'll get back to
But yeah, that's right.
the episode.
I was when I since I was eating, I was watching myself eat, and I was like, oh, it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
I'm kind of the same way. Don't like to watch myself stuff my face.
So I had to turn it off and want everybody to see that.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that was Max talking with me about Breath of the Wild. What's your input, Will?
He taught me some things.
Yeah, he's taught me some things too.
The Lionel thing, had no idea
Yeah,
about any of that. It's amazing to me how much he knows about the game.
yeah,
You know, like, just the knowledge, the vast knowledge of the game is just impressive to me at such a young age, because, like, it's not like we're playing Age of Empires 2 like I used to, where, like, it's an RTS, but, you know, you learn everything pretty easily. Like, this is a full-blown, like, open-world RPG that
Yeah.
he's just knows how to play. It's incredible to me.
it's a very complex game, and he's done outside of the Great Plateau. He's done all the shrines and stuff himself, all the divine beasts he did himself.
That's amazing.
All the stuff that he's gotten in his game, all the pieces of armor, weapons, and stuff, he's all gotten it himself. So, yeah, and I talked about it when we did the rookie camp. But part of the reason why I wanted that to be the first game that my wife and I did for rookie camp was because of how impressed I was with Max playing Breath of the Wild, and Marlo too. My daughter also plays it. She's not quite as good as him, but she's also only 4. So
Yeah.
you know, it's a complex game. So yeah, good stuff.
Like,
Go ahead.
just there's things that I'm still learning. Like, when you guys talked about the DLC, like, I have no context for any of that because I actually haven't played any of the DLC yet, which I need to really get to.
Yeah,
But-
and part of the reason why I wanted to do revisit it is because I did want to talk about that and touch on that stuff. Because Nintendo was slow to the DLC game, but the DLC parts that they've come out with the games, you know, with their big franchises, has all, for the most part, been really good. So So yeah, the first piece of DLC was Champion's Ballad, which we talked about. It gives you a little more background into like what happened in the story. Gives you a few more like cutscenes and stuff. But I don't remember how exactly it's structured. But it starts off where you have to do like a trial. You get a weapon called the One Hit Obliterator, and you can kill anything in one hit. But also, if you take a hit, you die. So that's a really hard part because there's enemies like the Keezy Swarm that comes after you. That's really hard to fight off without getting hit at all. So there's that part, and then there's a few like Divine Beast type dungeons. And like I said, you get the story parts that fill out the backstory a little bit. And then after you complete all that, you get what's called the Master Cycle 0, which is Link's own personal Divine Beast. That's it looks like a dirt bike, like something out of Mario Kart.
That's right. Okay, I remember seeing that and people commenting on that,
which is really cool. Yeah, and they've since added the Master Cycle 0 and the Breath of the Wild Link to Mario Kart 8, which is awesome to them that they did that. So, no, that was actually the second piece of DLC. The first piece was the Trial of the Sword. So the Trial of the Sword is I don't know if you ever went to Eventide Isle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like that. So you go into this series of dungeons, one room at a time, and you complete whatever task it is, killing whatever enemies in there with just the stuff that you collect. Like you go in there with nothing, and you just slowly collect stuff and try to keep yourself alive. If you die, you have to start all over again at the beginning. So yeah, it's just being resourceful in that, and I've completed the first two parts of that. I haven't done the third to fully unlock the power of the Master Sword, but that's really good too. It's good pieces of DLC. I've put 145 hours just on my profile, and that's not even because I had a different profile when I did the Rated G Games videos for Breath of the Wild. So that's probably another 8 or 10 hours, I would say, on top of the 145 that I put on my profile.
Oh. Now, what was I going to say? It was about the first piece of DLC. I can't remember what I was going to say now.
A Champion's Ballad?
Yeah, it was going to be something about that. Or, is that the first one?
No, that was the second one. Trial of the Sword was the first one.
I had a question about Trial of the Sword, but now I can't remember what it was.
If you think of it, just ask.
Do you know how many hours Max has put in comparatively to you?
I wanted to check, but I didn't. I will check, and I will tweet that or something.
Okay.
Because I did want to check before I came down, and I forgot. It's a lot. He's played a lot. I know he put 200 hours into Mario Odyssey.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, some of that was with the game, but on the TV, but him, because the kids
screwing around.
Yeah. But he played a lot of it too, so. But it's definitely, I think Breath of the Wild will. I have to revisit my top 10 list, but it'll be in the top 5, probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I had to guess that's how much I like the game, and with all the games that are coming out, with all the games I have to play, I've been playing Breath of the Wild Master Mode, which is weird. Like when I was playing it before, I tried the Master Mode like after I beat it, and I was like kind of done with it for a while, and it was too hard for me. But I realized that you just have to be more careful about combat, like especially right at the beginning. You can't rush into fights because you'll break all your weapons, and not be able to kill whatever you're trying to fight. You just have to avoid it or use your bombs and stuff that you can regenerate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Master Mode is cool because the main difference is the difficulty. So all the enemies you fight are like one level higher than they normally would be. So like right at the beginning, you're fighting like kind of hard bokoblins and moblins and Lizaflows and stuff.
Yeah.
But the cool thing too is they added floating platforms like in various places, usually like hanging around bridges or around water. There'll be a lot of them, and they have enemies on them and once they see you, they can float in your direction and attack you from all these different angles. So that's not only is it really cool that the game systems allow for that sort of thing, because it's all physics based. So like one of my favorite things to do is to shoot the Octorok balloons and pop them and dump whoever the enemy's off. It doesn't always work, but you can do that sometimes. Because I was fighting one that had electric arrows earlier today, actually. So that was kind of hard. I couldn't get close enough to be able to fire my arrows, carefully enough to knock the guy off, but not lose the treasure chest that was on it. So, but yeah, that's really cool.
Now, can you believe that kids are growing up playing games like Breath of the Wild? Like, no wonder why kids are bored with regular life today. Like, growing up, like, being immersed in this world and then, like, living normal life. Like, I get it.
Yeah, we have trouble with that with Max with school because he it's boring for him because it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't challenge him in the way like Breath of the Wild does.
Yeah.
Just the puzzles alone, like for a 7-year-old to solve all those,
And
you don't get that in school.
Well, school doesn't exactly incite creativity, but a game like Breath of the Wild is creativity based. You get to
very creative.
Yeah, you can solve these puzzles any way that you can come up with it. Like, talking about going through some of the shrines where I was able to connect currents of electricity.
Yeah.
Like, no games do that, but this one does, and like it allows you to be creative, and like schools don't do that anymore. No. So it's just like if you're pigeonholed into just being, doing homework and being not challenged like that, like video games are key to have that outlet for kids.
Yeah. I feel like there was one other point I wanted to make about Breath of the Wild. I don't know. It's hard to imagine that it was a Switch launch title.
Yeah.
You look back at the PS4 and Xbox One launch titles, and nothing is even close to that caliber.
Yeah, no, it is definitely the best launch game to ever come out.
I would say, probably ever. Maybe Mario 64 with the Nintendo 64.
Was that a launch title?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty good launch title.
Well, it's Nintendo.
Right, exactly.
How can these companies not have good launch titles anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have no, I don't even think the PS4 or Xbox One had good multi-platforms. I think the games that came out for it were average, at best.
Battlefield 4
was that a launch?
Yeah.
Title, or did that come out a couple weeks after? Was it launch window?
I think it was launch title.
Okay.
But that Battlefield wasn't as good as 3 or Bad Company 2.
Right.
So I mean, it's not Breath of the Wild or Mario 64 caliber. That's for sure.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I can't recommend it enough. If you have a Switch and haven't played Breath of the Wild, do it. If you don't have a Switch, get one and play Breath of the Wild. Because not only is it an amazing console game, but you can also play it on the go, and it plays really well in the handheld mode. That's how I played probably 95% of it the first time I played through was in handheld. I've played a little bit more on the TV now because I'll usually play it when my wife is down here doing a workout, and I've finished my workout for the night. That's what I'll play, and I've been playing a little bit now that my older two are in school. I'll let if the twins are occupied, I'll fire up Breath of the Wild on the TV for a little bit. So I've played a little bit more on the TV than I did the first time through.
I think as soon as I beat Octopath Dan is when I will go play Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah. It's hard because, again, we've talked about it, but there's a lot of new awesome games that are coming out, or that came out, or that are coming out, and so to me, it speaks a lot about how good Breath of the Wild is that's what I want to play.
And I'm so excited to play more Hollow Knight and Dead Cells and Hyper Light Drifter, but this nagging feeling of I need to play Breath of the Wild has been persisting all summer. Yeah. And I've been I'll get to it as soon as I finish Octopath. Little did I know Octopath was going to put 76 hours of game time in on me.
I think I'm at about 60. So I'm not that far behind. That's an amazing game, but again, I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I am dedicating this weekend though to playing Tomb Raider. I'm gonna sit
Tomb
down
Raider's out. It's officially out right now, right? We think on Steam.
I think so. I saw a lot of people playing it. I know you could pay for a more expensive version and get earlier access to it.
Here, I'll check and
I
see.
wasn't gonna do that, but even if I have to wait till midnight, I'll wait till midnight.
Games. Dan. You think it's under S?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Shadow Warrior, Shadowrun, Dragonfall. So it doesn't appear to be up for me yet.
So, yeah, maybe it's not out. Not technically out yet. I know, I had a patch to download, and a lot of times that's the launch patch, but because I pre-downloaded it a few days ago.
So yeah, the game will unlock approximately 13 hours.
In 13 hours, so it's tomorrow? Like, literally tomorrow?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Dang it.
That's stupid. I really don't like that they do that.
Yeah, I prefer the midnight instead of the 1 o'clock. I'll check again at midnight. We'll see.
Yeah, well, might as well. And sometimes it says that, but it hasn't been accurate before.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about Breath of the Wild. I love that game. Like I said, it'll probably end up being 2 or 3. I can't see it supplanting Final Fantasy VI, only because of the nostalgia I have for that game.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of defined my childhood gaming. So probably won't supplant that, but it could supplant everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Breath of the Wild, good stuff. All right, let's get into Nibble Bits.
Should we keep this Nintendo train rolling and just...
Might as well. We'll roll into some of the Nintendo Direct stuff that came out.
Now, Dan,
yeah,
I know one thing about it, and it's what I asked in our group message. The rest I have not seen. So I'll run through what this Kotaku article says, everything announced during today's Nintendo Direct.
Perfect.
So this leads off with a new Luigi's Mansion game in development.
Yep.
So Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
So Luigi is alive.
Luigi is alive. That was actually, people think that little scene where he died was a teaser for Luigi's Mansion 3 announcement. Because he was in the in his Luigi's Mansion gear and stuff. So
I actually wondered that same thing if they were working on it, because that's a very specific character in that specific environment for him to pick.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So yeah, and the internet's really gotten behind Luigi dying as like a thing. It's really funny.
Yeah, yes it is.
So
yeah,
that's awesome.
that was a very exciting announcement for me. I know Max likes Luigi's Mansion. We have one of the Luigi's Mansion games. I never played it. I always wanted to, but that's a very cool announcement.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm pretty excited for this one too. I haven't, same as you, haven't really played a Luigi's Mansion game, so I think this is going to be a really cool one to get into, because honestly, the Switch can do no wrong at this point.
Yep.
Next, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is coming to the 3DS. Haven't played it, so I don't know anything about it, but I know people really love Kirby. Yeah. So
Star Allies was good. I like
Star Allies. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, that's cool. We're getting more Kirby. Bowser's Inside Story is coming to 3DS. Don't really have an opinion on that one.
Yep. Nothing.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is coming to Switch. So is that a re-release?
That's the Wii U one. Yep.
Okay. So this is coming out January 11th.
Okay. I wonder if it being the deluxe version, if that means it comes with the new Super Luigi, the Luigi version of that too, because there's two versions. The Luigi version is the harder version of the game.
So funny you say that. The last sentence in this blurb says the deluxe edition will include new Super Luigi U.
Okay,
January 11th.
That's everything then. So that we have that on the Wii U, that exact version, not the deluxe version, but we have the dual version of Mario U and Luigi U.
Okay. And you know what? I know a lot of people hate re-releases, but you know what? Because the Wii U kind of flopped and a lot of people didn't get a chance to play these games, I have no problem with all this stuff getting ported. I'm not probably going to buy this one, but I have no problem with them porting it over.
I'm the same way. I used to have a problem with ports, but access is such a huge issue anymore with games.
Yep.
With server shutting down, and it's getting harder and harder to find older games. Outside of PC, PCs kind of has everything always.
Yeah.
But yeah, access is a huge issue. And like you said, the Wii U flopped. People didn't play the Wii U. There was 13 million, I think, lifetime sales
Yeah.
for the Wii U, and the Switch has already surpassed that by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's a good thing, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely for them. Next, Katamari Damacy, whatever, is
Yeah, I
getting
don't
a
know.
Switch remaster.
Don't know much about that.
This is one of those games that people love. So
Yeah, I've
yeah.
never played a Katamari game.
Next, Nintendo shared more about their new Switch Online service. It'll be out September 18th and will support online play, classic NES games with online support, cloud saves. So yeah, the pricing looks like it's broken down to $3.99 for 1 month, $7.99 for 3 months, and $19.99 for 12 months. I don't know how this family plan works, Dan. That
Yeah,
do you know?
no.
Do any of us know?
No, they didn't really. For me, this is like all stuff I already knew, so they didn't really clarify anything for me. That being said, I'm still going to be getting it, and whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna get that too. After that, the Switch is getting a NES style controller. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wirelessly connect to the Switch. Won't work with all classic NES games.
Also connects to the tablet, so you connect one to each side of the tablet to charge them.
Oh my
Which
god,
is cool.
that's incredible.
I think you get two in a pack for 60, but you have to be a subscriber to the Nintendo Switch Online thing to be able to buy them.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no, they look cool. I'm for them. This one has me actually really excited. I read it to you before our podcast, but Game Freak is making a new RPG for the Switch. It's called Town. It's a working title, and it involves protecting a town from monsters, and it'll be out in 2019. I mean, Nintendo is my favorite franchise ever. So I'm interested to see what Game Freak does with a new
I wonder
IP.
if it's going to be like a little bit like Dragon Quest Builders, maybe a little Fortnite, like that type of RPG.
It has the Dragon Quest art style.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of what I would think. What was that 3DS game, Fantasy Life?
Yeah. Yeah.
That we all. It was something like that where you could change your job and whatnot.
Yep.
I was a huge fan of it. I know Corey and Eric weren't big on it, but the style reminds me of that game, but what the Switch version would look like.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I am excited for that, even though we know nothing, but whatever.
Yeah.
City Skylines out on Switch today.
That was a nice surprise.
That's huge. I love that. I kind of want to get it, but I know I shouldn't because I have it on PC already.
Yep, same here.
Civilization 6 coming to Switch. This was weirdly got announced because I knew it was getting announced before it got announced.
It got announced last week. Nintendo's this Direct was supposed to be last week. But there was earthquakes in Japan, so they delayed it like a week. And I believe it was Firaxis just announced outright that Civ 6 was coming to the Switch.
Yep.
So that's awesome. I will be getting Civ 6 on the Switch. Yes, I will.
I was wondering if you... Well, it's coming November 16th.
I don't know if I'll get it then, only because Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 comes out on November 2nd, I believe. So
the Switch needs to stop, man. I can't
games.
Get everything. World of Final Fantasy gonna be on Switch. Out November 6th. And Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, is coming to Switch. And Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 10-2 coming to Switch. We're getting Final Fantasy like crazy. So the first one coming up is in fact World of Final Fantasy, as I said, November 6th. And then after that, I think they said a lot of them will be coming early next year.
Yes, 2019.
So we'll be having to look forward to those, but that's cool. I mean, I'll probably buy Final Fantasy 7 again.
I probably will buy Final Fantasy 7 again, yes.
And probably 9 because I haven't played 9 yet. Yeah. So and I don't really want to play it on my phone. So
yeah, I've never played 10 or 10-2. That may be a buy. It depends on what's coming out for the Switch early next year. Other than other than the stuff that we know that's coming out. If there's anything surprising that's coming out, that may take precedence. But I do want to have those games on my Switch. It's amazing.
Last but not least, Dan.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I knew about from Eric was Animal Crossing's Isabella is coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. New character. I don't think she's an Echo. No, she's definitely not an Echo now that I remember. I watched her gameplay. I guess they also announced a follow-up to an Animal Crossing for Switch, too. It doesn't say it in here, but Eric, I think, said that they did end up announcing an Animal Crossing.
Yep, Animal Crossing. It's a working title. It's coming out in 2019. So that was officially announced.
So, real quick, before I finish up with the rest of the thing, next year we have a new Pokemon, a new Animal Crossing, a new Fire Emblem, all of these Final Fantasies, a new Game Freak game.
Yeah.
God. I don't think that's too good to be true.
And maybe later in the year, the Metroid Prime 4.
That's right.
We don't know when that's supposed to come out.
I forgot they announced that too.
So,
is Nintendo going to take over the gaming for us?
I don't know. In Japan, the Switch has almost sold as many systems as the PS4.
With a 3-year.
Yeah, PlayStation had a 3-year head start.
Yeah,
4-year head start, however long.
That is insane. So a couple other things. The original Luigi's Mansion's coming to 3DS. Yokai Watch Blasters is coming with new content. Splatoon 2 is getting another set of maps. Mario Tennis Aces is getting another update on September 19th with Birdo, Shy Guy, Koopa, Paratroopa, and Petey Piranha as playable characters. So that's awesome. I think if we do the tournament right now, we get Diddy Kong as well.
Okay.
So there's more characters, 4 more coming. Lord of the Rings, The Living Card Game, Pandemic, The World Ends With You, showed off some stuff with that. Warframe hits Switch November 20th. Yeah, but that's crazy. Nintendo had a really good direct.
Yes, they did. We'll talk about their online when we can actually, because I still don't understand a lot of it.
No, they have not really clarified.
No,
that's all right. I'll go on blind. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. The subreddit's gonna, I bet, is going bonkers right now about it. That's all they've done is complain about the online.
Honestly, I'm getting because Eric said people were complaining if they didn't announce a new Animal Crossing. Yeah. It's just like, can you guys just be happy?
Here's the thing, Will. I've seen this a lot actually, and I'm not sure if it's like a movement, but so Reddit people complain constantly. So I've seen it probably, I bet you 4 or 5 times now. So someone will start a thread complaining about something, and one of the first comments will say something like, "Calm down, my dude," or "Simmer down, my dude," and it's not the same person, but it's I'm starting to see that more and more often now. And I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure if it's a movement of people that are like, hey, just chill out, like try to enjoy things, but it's the same type of phrasing. It's "simmer down, my dude," or "calm down, my dude," or something like that. And it's always that one line.
Well, what is with just like, I feel like gaming people have become so entitled.
I don't think it's just gaming. I think it's everything.
Well, it is life. I think it's because I'm more plugged into
that's
gaming.
The world we're plugged into, yeah.
Even like when I look at sports and stuff, like people aren't entitled to anything, but like when I pay attention to like anything gaming, it's just everybody's just like, with the new Smash stuff, like honestly, people just aren't happy that we're getting every single character ever to be in the game in there, over 100 stages on top of new characters. Like, get over that Waluigi's not in the game. Like, who cares? You're getting over 70 characters in this game with unique movesets. Like, shut up. Be happy. I don't know. I'm honestly just getting really, really sick of seeing people piss and moan. Especially, it's on Reddit too, that it's horrible.
Yeah.
So that's my rant for today.
Okay.
But other nibble bits, Dan, I don't really.
I've got a
I don't
couple.
have it. Okay, yeah, you go for it.
So the first one, and this was super exciting news, it's that the Kingdoms of Amalur IP was bought by THQ Nordic, which
Awesome.
immediately led people to believe they were going to do a remaster and a new game, which is cool. However, I read somewhere. And Jake actually alerted Idaho Jake alerted me to this, which was awesome. Uh, Apparently, EA has to approve a remaster. So, I mean, I feel like if that's something people would be interested in, though, they would be for that.
Yeah.
With some modern touches, like that could still be a really good game. Like, I play it on I every few months I'll fire it up on my computer and play for a few minutes. But with some field of view tinkering and ultra wide monitor support, like it looks awesome still. It's a really fluid, cool game. So there might be enough people. I would buy it on the Switch in a heartbeat.
Oh my God, yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. At the very least, they'll probably be able to do a new game, a new Kingdoms of Amalur. So
Yeah, I'm really happy or hoping that they end up doing a remaster or just a brand new game in
yeah,
general. That would be awesome.
yeah, with the same type of systems, just kind of modernized a bit.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping for.
And then my last nibble bit was that the original Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is coming to Switch and PS4. Remember Crystal Chronicles, Will?
I do. I never got very far in it,
Yeah.
but I remember really, really being into it. What I did play.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to play it by myself, which is not the way to play that game. That's a game you play with
No,
people. But yeah, that was an awesome game. So that's very cool that they're remastering that.
yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Nintendo's really going through the effort to bring us these older titles.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool.
Yep. That one's
Because
Nintendo Switch and PS4 for that one.
okay.
So
I mean, where else are we going to be able to play Crystal Chronicles on our
yeah,
old GameCube?
GameCube.
Yeah.
Again, access being a problem. Like I used to kind of get fussy about the ports and re-releases and stuff, but not anymore. But part of that too was because I'm used to playing games on a PC where access isn't as much of a problem. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got for Nibble Bits. How was your week, Will?
Good. I was in Florida.
Yeah.
Um, so I did my drive, made it there. I'm sorry if we have fans in Alabama, but that state, man. I don't know if it was the end of the drive that was just really dragging, but I was just going through Alabama at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I was just like, man, what a boring state. Um, so the drive was pretty good. It was actually amazing. There was no issues with it. Usually whenever I'm driving, I feel like somebody's almost causing an accident. I didn't see that at all.
Nice.
I was very pleased with that. No issues getting down there. And then I got to Florida, got to check in early, and then I napped until my friend got out of her classes, and then hung out. Went to the beach. The beach is awesome. I think one of my favorite beaches ever is that beach down in Pensacola. Like some of the beaches on the east coast of Florida, Dan, like how there's like rocks in it, shells,
Yeah.
like weeds. This one actually didn't have anything. It was just all white sand, which I was actually really impressed with because even beaches that I've been in, like up here in New York or, in North Carolina, they've all been kind of like, shells, some rocks in there, but this had nothing in it. So I'm kind of curious. Like it was on the Gulf. I don't know if that plays a difference in any of it.
Yeah, probably.
But it was actually a really nice beach. Super hot. I got really sunburnt on my face, and I don't usually sunburn at all. But like in the classes the past couple days, like the flakes of my head, when your skin peels, is just
Yeah.
like falling on my papers, and
Oh
I'm like
man.
brushing it off.
Nice.
What else? I don't know. I just it was nice to have that vacation and get away. I wanted to be there a little bit longer, but I had to come back for school.
Uh,
Football came
Football.
back.
Yeah, football's back.
Now, it was funny. I had 110 points, Dan, in fantasy.
Uh-huh.
I was beating the person I was playing by 60, and I was like, got this. Took off my plane at about 3 o'clock, or it was 4 o'clock. Landed, did whatever, flew home. Woke up the next day at like 2. I was like, all right, I'll check fantasy and see what this final score ended up being. Didn't I just end up losing?
Oh man.
And what happened was I had Marcus Mariota, Doug Baldwin, Travis Kelce, and the Chargers defense. Mariota got hurt and had a horrible game, so he only had like 2 points. Kelce only caught 1 pass, had a point. Chargers got me negative points in defense.
Uh-huh.
And then Doug Baldwin got hurt and he didn't catch a single pass. So right there, my four players got me 3 points combined.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing, and it really sucked because I was going off that week. I was really excited. I thought my team was going to be awesome, but nope. And then I lost in our family league too, embarrassingly. So it was a rough week in fantasy for me.
Yeah. I won both my first games.
There you go.
One handily, one was close, but yeah, a good start for me so far.
Who's your best player?
It was Julio Jones.
Yep, me too.
In one league. I don't check our family's league as closely. I mostly follow Val's family's league because it's money league.
Yeah.
And they do a live in-person draft. So, there's trash talking during the actual draft.
Yeah.
However, so I went to that. Usually, like, we'll go as a family. I'll draft my team, my wife will draft her team. But with 4 kids and the twins being mobile like they are, like, I just went and I drafted her team and I drafted my team. So I brought my Chromebook so I could look up stats, and I ended up getting A- for both of our drafts, which was cool.
Hey, there you go.
Those are the top two drafts for our team, so I was pretty happy with that.
You didn't draft Le'Veon Bell, did you?
No. So my wife had an earlier pick than I did. I finished 3rd last year in the league, so I picked towards the end. And I ended up with Todd Gurley.
Not what?
Yeah, that late. It was because is there 12 teams, I think, and I got to Todd Gurley 9th.
That blows my. He was consensus number 1.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Everywhere.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. The 2 people that finished ahead of me would have picked him. But yeah.
So
there's a few people who aren't totally on the up and up with like the way fantasy works. Like they know good play. They all drafted good players. But my wife wanted Antonio Brown, so I think she had 3rd or 4th pick. So she took Antonio. I took Antonio Brown for her 3rd or 4th pick. So.
Well, I listen to fantasy football podcasts, and a lot of people say if you want to take Antonio Brown top 3, go for it because he's a surefire. Like can't miss.
Yep.
That's interesting. So it's one of those things that because the top 3, which was you guys are the most up on football, but the rest are kind of like more casual into football, so they don't know.
It's casual into fantasy, really into football, casual into fantasy.
So are these the type of people who would be like, I want Dak Prescott with my first pick?
No, but like Tom Brady got drafted really early.
Okay.
And quarterbacks, if they do really well, can score more than running backs, but it's hard to get a good, consistent running back. So.
Yeah. Interesting. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's PPR too, which also makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. So players like Cooper Kupp are a little bit more valuable than somebody who'll catch 1 pass for a touchdown.
Right. So Larry Fitzgerald, who catches 11 passes for like 86 yards, is a good player to have.
Yep, because he's so much value to him.
Yep. So
yeah, I like PPR way more. When we do our family league that I'm starting next year, we're going to be doing at least half-point PPR. So
yeah, we always did half a point, but last year we went to full point for 4 receptions. So
yeah, I only asked about Le'Veon Bell because I know Val has him in our family league.
Yes, she does.
I'm trying to take him from her. I've been offering her trades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's funny. Well, I got James Conner in both of my leagues. I drafted him with the last pick in both of my leagues.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of why not? Because last pick doesn't matter, and Le'Veon Bell is not coming back to the Steelers, I don't think. So
what are they gonna do with him?
Trade or he comes back week 11 and he finishes up the year. But at that point, apparently what was going to happen was he was going to come back earlier than he is now. But once his offensive line started trashing him, he was like, I'm not going to come back.
Crazy.
So, yeah, I actually kind of feel bad for him. But,
yeah.
Because, when you're a running back and you're getting 500 touches a year and you're going to have only like 5 more years of productive play, like go get paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think, in my opinion. I know they're all playing a game and they're making millions of dollars, so you should suck it up. But at the same time, like, if you can get that money, go get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like you said, running backs do not last very long.
Yeah, and he's a power back, so he takes a lot of hits. But yeah, that's been my fantasy thing this year. I've been trying to get Lev Bell, and I actually had one really good draft in my work league, and I'm really happy. But because I've got like Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins as my wide receivers, so I'm pretty stacked at wide receiver.
Nice.
But yeah, honestly, that's really it for me. It's just football and my trip. Now I'm doing back to school, back to work, kind of normalizing everything.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks because, like I said, we had we had parties, Labor Day, football draft party. We had family party for, I don't even know if I talked about this last week. I may have, but it's a lot of September birthdays. So my wife's birthday is on the 5th. Our twins' birthday is on the 6th. My birthday was on Monday. So we had, all sorts of parties, and we had the twins' family party here on Saturday, so it was cleaning up. And then on Sunday, while I was watching the Giants game, I was moving furniture around. Like I said, my computer is down in a temporary studio downstairs again until I get everything set up the way I want it. That's why we had to delay rookie camp this week a night, because my computer wasn't set up and everything on Sunday. So it's been a crazy couple of weeks, all sorts of appointments, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So, but I hope once I get more into a routine of things, it'll be easier. Trying to get the older two out the door and ready for school in the morning, and picking them up from school at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's school. It's weird with me, at least. Dan, I don't know if you're the same way. It offers a little bit more comfort, but it also can be busier. Like you can just sit back and relax a little bit more, but it also can be stressful.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just having a more normal routine now. That's made it a little bit easier. Because when everyone was home during the day, if we didn't go to my to your house to swim, it was me making food and cleaning up for everybody all day, the entire day. So at least now it's just me and the twins for most of the day, and I can do some stuff besides clean and make food.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm lucky because my school semester is pretty easy this semester, but I like the normalized routine of it a little bit more than definitely. Summertime. I also work a lot less, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this week's rookie camp we played XCOM Enemy Unknown. That was really fun.
I have to watch it.
Yeah,
see what she thought.
Yeah, she enjoyed it. It was a lot different than what she expected. And definitely way out of her ballpark of games she usually likes to play. So it was good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
God, I feel like I had something else I wanted to talk about. No, I think that's everything. I swear I had something else. Oh, whatever.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller.
No, but yes, definitely rest in peace. Yeah, let's get into what we played. Will, you got anything to talk about?
Sadly, no. I'm gonna make a concerted effort to play Octopath and try and get through it here within the next week or two, maybe. I don't know. That's gonna be my goal. So
okay. Yes, I mostly have been playing Breath of the Wild. I played a very little bit of Dragon Quest XI, which me and Corey split. And I started it, I want to say, was it earlier this week, maybe late last week? And I played on the Steam Link, but I was having weird control issues. So whenever I would use the left control stick and to move the character. Like the camera would snap in all these weird ways. It was very, very confusing. Like I couldn't figure out why it was doing it. I don't know. But I actually played a little bit right now before we started this episode with my Xbox One controller on the actual like computer, and it's worked really well. It's really, really nice art style. It's a JRPG. It's a Dragon Quest game. One of the thing that shocked me the most was some of the sounds are still the same from the first Dragon Warrior game on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So that brought me right back to that many, many years later.
Brings back that nostalgia for you.
Yes, definitely. So that's definitely one I'll be playing more of. Me and Corey are going to do an episode on that at some point. So
Next week?
probably not next week. I'm going to probably try to do Tomb Raider next week because I know that's not super long. If I can get like halfway or 2/3 of the way through it, I'll be happy enough to do an episode on it.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
It's a
maybe
game you want to put as much time in it as you can, right?
Yeah. Dragon Quest is one I want to play for a while before we do an episode on it. I know we have Life is Strange 2 coming up soon, so that'll be towards the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one I think we're all going to play, right? We're all splitting it and going to play it.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, well, let's get into feedback then.
Sounds good.
I know we got a couple pieces. Check. Oh, come on. I hate Facebook so much.
Facebook is the worst.
We got a feedback on Facebook that I'm not sure how to access from my phone. Oh, there. Oh, I just had it. What did I do? Okay, here we go. So this is from Rachel. Hey guys, Rachel in Cleveland here. Just wanted to give some input for the great characters in gaming topic. My first thought was my all-time favorite game, Borderlands 2. So many winners in that game. Handsome Jack, Tiny Tina, Claptrap, Sir Hammerlock, Mordecai, Lilith, Scooter. Just a handful that come to mind. If I had to pick a favorite, I guess I'd choose Scooter, only because my friends and I still quote him a lot, even though we haven't played the game together in years. Keep up the good work, guys. Oh, I also wanted to mention I love when you have Val on. All right, take care all. So thanks, Rachel. Actually, the Borderlands 2 is my Borderlands 2 is my favorite Borderlands game too. And there is some absolutely fantastic characters in that.
Yeah, there are.
So good, all of them. So yeah, I concur on the Borderlands 2 characters.
Yeah, actually, when I was looking at a bunch of games that for inspiration going through the list, I actually saw Borderlands on there and heavily considered adding like Handsome Jack or Claptrap on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they're awesome characters for sure.
Yep. And Val will be on when we do our Life is Strange 2 episode because she probably won't play it herself, but she will watch me while I play it. So because we like to experience those stories. So yeah, she'll be on for that episode.
This reminds me, when we do Life is Strange, are we going to do it by episode? Like full episodes on each episode? Cool.
Yeah, only because I'm not going to be able to wait.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to wait till all the episodes come out together to play through it. So
totally with you on that.
I have in the past, but I'm no longer there. So that was from Rachel. Thanks, Rachel. Good to hear from you again. It's been a little while. Okay. Now on to email feedback. This is from Eric, or Reefer as he's known in the Twitch chat. He says, "Hey guys, hope you've had a great week, and I hope Will survived his road trip." I guess the first thing to talk about would be how good Spider-Man is. Colleen has been playing it nonstop. I've barely gotten to play an hour because she's taken over the living room every day when she gets home from work. I guess when she gets this attached to a game, I know it's very, very good. See Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild. Second, are we doing NFL picks? I have the Buccaneers every week as usual. and I want my 9.5 points from that ass whooping we put on the Saints. Third, we should really this should really be pod hockey feedback, but I really wanted to talk to Will about Yzerman stepping down as GM for the Lightning a couple days ago. You need to have me on for an episode so I can get my thoughts. I don't think the sky is falling like a lot of local Tampa media does. And fourth, on this day in real life, on this day in 1788, the Philadelphia Convention sets the date for the first presidential election in the United States, and New York City becomes the country's temporary capital. In 1899, Henry Bliss became the first person to die in an automobile accident. Wow. 1985, Super Mario Brothers is released for the NES in Japan.
All right.
Wow, first person to die in an automobile accident.
That is blowing my mind right now.
That blows my mind. 1899. Ah, man.
That's so weird.
Anyway, that's an awesome tidbit, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah.
What happened here? There we go. Okay. Anyway, Spider-Man. I've heard nothing but great things about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that their take on the police is out of touch, but other than that, it's been an incredible game.
Right.
Sorry,
I've also read that a few places.
I had to poke fun at game journalism right there.
Sure.
But no, everything I've seen from the game is incredible. I really wish I got to play it, but I actually just sold my PlayStation to Johnny, Dan. So
okay.
He's going to be playing it here early next week. So
nice. Okay. NFL picks. Unfortunately, we are not doing NFL picks this year. It's only because I don't think I could take on something like that and consistently do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually was, when I was at the gym the other day, I was actually thinking about how I could do this. So I could run it, but the thing is I wouldn't be able to do the point spreads that Corey was doing.
Right.
I think the best I would be able to do, which is how crazy everything else is like being able to keep track of everybody's records by, if you picked the underdog, they won, you could just get one for the win column. If you get it wrong, you get a loss.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking of doing, honestly.
That's your call, Will.
Yeah, I just don't know how I'm going to make sure it's all consolidated into one easy package for me, because I actually have no access to any of our social media accounts anymore because I've been logged out.
Yeah.
Of all of them. So give me another week to ponder.
Okay.
Ponder this,
yeah, it's something we won't start it right yet, but maybe in a couple weeks we can finish up the season with like a half season thing or whatever.
And playoffs can be included too.
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll discuss and get back to you. But it won't be the pick system that we had last year, unless Corey wants to run that. Then he can.
I think we're gonna keep it the same. If we do this, you have to pick underdog.
Pick the underdog, and you get a point for a win. And nothing if you lose. So the spread doesn't matter.
Yep, spread doesn't matter. Just pick an underdog if it's right.
Okay.
Good job.
Yzerman.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think he's going back to Detroit. I said this before. His family's in Detroit. He's stepping down because he misses he travels too much, misses his family, is away too much. So everything seems to point to me when Ken Holland becomes the Seattle GM, Steve Yzerman's going to become the Detroit Red Wings GM.
Okay, see, I read that Yzerman was going to become the Seattle GM.
Really?
Yeah. I just read that headline like a few hours ago.
Okay, so that was me not having looked at anything hockey the last couple of days, putting that together.
It would make more sense for him to become the Red Wings GM though, if Seattle's going to poach Ken Holland.
Well, yeah, because that's what this was. Ken Holland to Seattle has been something that's been talked about in the past. So that's kind of why I thought that. But I mean, if Seattle, why would you go for Ken Holland when you can get Yzerman?
Yeah, because Holland was good, back in the day. He hasn't had much success lately, but
no, and
because Detroit was well known for their late round gems, and they just haven't had that recently.
No, they have not been as good. I mean, they were good this draft because they picked high, but
right.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. I don't think anybody saw it coming. I think they're in good hands though with Julian Brisebois. I think he's going to be a phenomenal GM for them. He's been under the best for a while, so he's
Right.
picking it up. He's not going to be able to bring in Eric Carlson because Eric Carlson's a San Jose Shark,
Yeah.
which did not expect him to go there.
No.
So we'll be doing a pond hockey very soon, right before training camp starts up, because I was just so busy this summer that I haven't been able to record it. So
Yeah, I was supposed to put together an episode, and I just never got around to it.
well, to be fair, I never said, Dan, let's do a pond hockey soon either.
Well, I think
So it's been
I'm pretty sure I offered to. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get some stuff, and we'll do one next week, and then I forgot.
well, I'll tell you
It's
what.
been a crazy summer.
Training camp starts what, in a week? Less than
Yeah,
that?
it's pretty soon.
Okay, so we'll do one within the coming week. So
Okay. Yeah, it works for me.
and then we'll do them every week until hockey's done, maybe every 2 a week, depends on how much goes on.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. So
Fourth, This Day in Real Life. Yeah, we talked about that.
mhm.
1899, first automobile accident death.
Crazy.
Blows my mind. Okay, so we have 2
Dos.
for the game giveaway.
Rachel and Eric, right?
Yep.
The winner is Rachel.
Rachel.
Congrats, Rachel. Is this your first time winning?
No, I think
it
she
is.
won before.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, Rachel, good job winning again.
right.
1 through 150, yes.
Yes. Whoop. AEL. Okay. I think that's how you spell it. AEL. All right.
All right, so number 1, 72.
72. Game 72 is The Secret Order 2 Masked Intent.
Okay. Next, 146.
146 is Brutal Legend.
Okay. 121.
121 is Beat Buddy Tale of the Guardians.
Okay. 125.
125 is Monaco.
96.
96 is The Walking Dead 400 Days.
Okay.
So, Rachel, your choices are The Secret Order 2 Masked Intent, Brutal Legend, Beat Buddy Tale of the Guardians, Monaco, and The Walking Dead 400 Days. So if you don't listen to this right away, I'll probably email you because I got to get caught up. I've got a Tate game that I've got to get, and then Rachel. So I'll email you within the next couple of days and get caught up on these because we didn't have feedback last week. So
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because we we recorded a day early. And I didn't let people know because we kind of decided at the last minute we were going to record a day early. So yeah, that's everything for this episode. Next week is likely going to be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I hope to put a significant dent in that, starting probably tomorrow night and through the weekend. Yeah, we've got Dragon Quest 11 episode coming up. We've got Life is Strange 2 episode coming up. And then anything else new that we get. I know Valkyria Chronicles 4 is supposed to come out, so
Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah, me too. If I end up getting that, we'll probably have an episode on that in October. So yeah, that's all I've got. Will, anything?
No, that's it for me, really.
All right, that'll do it for episode 373 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.